Welcome back to the R&D podcast. Been a little while since we've seen you. It's been 2 weeks, Jim?
I think so.
Yeah, roughly. Got a couple headlines for you. We'll start the day. Show off with Chip Kelly lands at Northwestern as offensive coordinator. Clemson parts ways with Garrett Riley, who was a huge hire whenever he was hired at Clemson. I was really hoping Bama got him back in the day. Marcus Freeman confirmed he's staying at Notre Dame despite NFL interest. Penn State reportedly hiring USC's D'Anton Lynn as the DC. And then one of the largest ones, and probably one of the best hires I've seen so far, is Michigan's hire of Kyle Whittingham. That's seen as a major win. We got a couple transfer portal news, and we're going to bring in a special, not really a special guest, but we're going to bring in somebody who just got off work. Port, we're going to start with Auburn football talk. Port, what you got for us?
Dude, the portal is disgusting right now. I mean, if you want receivers that have SEC experience, Auburn's whole receiver room is in the portal, or is going to be, plans to be.
What do you think?
It is insane.
What do you think this portal has to do? Do you think any of this has to do with Golish? What do you think is going on in Auburn? Why is everybody backing out?
It's hard to call what you would think it is. I mean, personally, I think it's not so much that Golish – they don't like Golish, but they just don't like the way the program's heading, and they don't want to sit through another rebuild with Golish, which is going to hurt Golish in the long run of things. Because, I mean, your first season having this talented roster would have been amazing, and you lose 75% of your starters to the portal now.
Yeah,
it just kind of hurts.
Rough portal season for Auburn. Alex Golish got his work cut out for him. And we don't really know if they're actually going to find a new team or if they're really just holding out for money. Like Cam Coleman, he possibly could end up back at Auburn. Deuce Knight entering the portal is actually kind of scary, though, because that either tells you Byron Brown's coming or it's going to be a blow-up in Auburn, Alabama. Bo Pribula hits the portal for Missouri. That's an interesting one as well. And then also North Texas QB hit the portal. He should be a pretty decent land for whoever ends up getting him.
There's another Auburn guy that's hit the portal that not a lot of people are talking about, and he's done got down to his top 8 schools, and I think he's hitting his top 5 soon.
I heard he was hitting his top 5 today on the podcast. Actually,
that was what I heard. It may have been Finbo Chisher that was talking to him about it. So. Word on the street is that I've hit the portal or plan to hit the portal at least Friday morning.
Will Bethea, a.k.a. Port, is no longer an Auburn fan. He's testing the portal waters. He's looking for NIL deals. His agent's working closely with Auburn to be able to get him back there. But as of right now, we have no confirmed evidence that he will be returning to the Auburn University. Port, what's your top 5?
Pon Jork, he's my agent. He's been telling me kind of just to play it by ear and see really who's going to offer me the most and who's going to be able to just like keep me satisfied, because it's been rough these past really 13 years, maybe 11 at the most.
Mm-hmm. Well, Port, what's that top 5 looking like for us?
So the top 8 coming into today was, I believe, here I've got my list right here. Let me pull it back up.
He's got so many offers, you can't remember the top 8.
Yeah, I've got to go get my top 8 of these crazy teams that are getting after me, man. Good grief. So many teams. All right, here we go. It's Indiana, Ole Miss, Bama, Florida, FSU, Ohio State, Auburn, and then lastly, but certainly not least, UConn. The University of Connecticut, the Huskies. They want me there.
Really?
Oh, yeah. But as of right now, top 5, we are sitting Ohio State, Alabama, Ole Miss, Indiana, and Auburn. I'm just waiting on my text from Coach Golish to really send me over the edge with them, see if we'll get to the top 3 with them.
If we had to give out predictions, right, on landing spots, I'm giving Bama about a 25%, Indiana about a 25%, and Auburn sitting at probably about a 50%. Ohio State's also a little bit of a little wrench in the plans there, but
I think it's a lot closer than a lot of people are going to think. I think if anybody's got the worst odds, I think Auburn's got the worst odds of getting a return here.
That's coming from the recruit. So let me change my prediction. I got Auburn at 0.
I mean, I think Auburn's sitting around 7 or 8%. I mean, I think they're sitting more towards 10 than anything. There's a few teams in the 25 to 30 range.
Hmm. Who would you be? What's your kind of killer for Bama? What's the reason not to go to Bama?
If Cam Coleman doesn't go there,
So you're just gonna follow Cam wherever he goes?
nah. But if he goes to Bama, it's going to be hard to say no. I'm tired
Yeah.
of being little. I'm tired of being a little bro. I'm tired of being a
You're
little bro.
always gonna be a little bro. Don't worry about that.
Well, tonight's podcast, we got Auburn fans melting down about the transfer portal and switching schools. NIL's happening in the fan bases as well. You wouldn't ever be able to believe it. But Pork, a huge Auburn fan, somebody who's really dedicated a lot of time and effort into the Auburn fan base, is thinking about coming over to Bama to join Cam Coleman and Malcolm Simmons and Ryan Williams and Keelan Russell and
Deuce Knight and
Deuce Knight for
Deion
some reason.
Sabb. And who else is going to go there? Let's see. Oh yeah, DJ Lagway. We're just going to have quarterback you. It's just going to be quarterback you. Who
Yeah, I
else
was
in the
thinking
portal? Bo
everybody.
Prabula. Julian Sands going to be there at some point. I think Jeremiah
was.
Smith's coming. Jeremiah Cobb's coming. All the Jeremiahs are going to be there.
My lovely wife Emma in New York City at the time. She's checking in. Thanks for stopping by, Emma Cheese.
Emma
You know what I'm
Chase,
saying? Emma Chase. I'm thinking about Chase Emerson.
little fella.
Pause. Anyways,
Oh, man.
let's go ahead and get on. Let's go ahead and get on with this one. We got Wednesday night, December 31st, New Year's Eve. Julian Sayin and Bo Jackson, Jeremiah Smith take on Reuben Bain and Carson Beck. This was gonna be interesting at AT&T Stadium, home of the Cowboys. Go Cowboys! You know what I'm saying? 6:30 p.m. The Cowgirls. Okay. Ohio State opens up at a 9.5 point favorite. Lon set at 40.5. Ork, what are you thinking about this game?
4 letters. BELT. That's what's coming. I think Ohio State puts the belt to Miami. I think you're about to see the level of play completely switch from what A&M was last week, I believe. Yeah, last week.
Mhm.
You're going to see a full switch. I mean, that was a Miami team that kind of struggled a little bit against that A&M team that couldn't kick field goals, and neither could Miami. But giving win was probably an issue there. But I think skill-wise, Ohio State has definitely got them beat there. And I think
Yeah.
execution-wise, they've been one of the better teams in football, if not the best team in football at executing.
Mhm. Ken, what are you thinking?
Oh, we lost Port.
I'll get Port back here.
I don't know. I think Miami's defense showed up really well in the A&M game. Granted, you could say win was an issue, but they still had 7 sacks the whole game, only allowing 3 points. But then you're not facing an A&M offense. You're facing one of the best offenses in the country with Ohio State, or one of the most explosive offenses. I don't know. I think the game will be closer than what the spread says. If it does get to over the spread, I think it's going to be a late touchdown by Ohio State. But I think Miami keeps it close.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw kind of a wrench in all these plans here we got going on. I think Miami up front on the defensive line, especially, is going to make things happen. I think that Julian Sands going to be in for his life in this game against Miami because let's take a step back and look at the defenses that Ohio State's faced. Right, Texas, Indiana struggled really badly with both. Julian Sands has thrown a pick in a lot of his big games this year, like Michigan, like Indiana. A lot of things that couldn't happen. You know, Ohio State's this big, powerful offense, and Indiana, I know, no discredit to Indiana by any means, but I think Miami is an Indiana caliber defense. Looking at it on paper and looking at it from a talent standpoint, I think Reuben Bain's going to cause a lot of problems in this game. I think this 9.5 point spread is a little ridiculous in my opinion. I think it's going to be a touchdown game, if anything. But I really kind of like Miami in this game, nonetheless. I think if Carson Beck can, like, excuse me, going into the Texas A&M game, the whole narrative for me was how many interceptions is Carson Beck going to throw? Because if he throws 3, there's no way that Miami wins. I had my little sleeper pick was Carson Beck to throw 3 picks. Well, then Marcel Reed turns around and says, "No, watch this. I got this," and does exactly what I was thinking Marcel Reed was going to do. But I want to say Miami, depending on what offense shows up and how Carson Beck is able to hold on the ball, as long as he doesn't make too many mistakes in this game, they have a chance against Ohio State nonetheless. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what fan base travels best as well, considering where the game's at.
Welcome
Alex
back,
West.
Alex.
Yeah. Pork says, I agree with the Indiana caliber defense, but not the Indiana caliber offense. I don't know. I mean, I think Indiana's offense is better than Ohio State's. I mean, God, oh my goodness. What was I saying? Well, Indiana caliber defense, but not Indiana caliber offense. Yeah, I agree with that. I think Miami's offense isn't as good as Indiana's offense, but it just kind of depends on what Carson Beck shows up, how risky he's going to be with the ball.
I mean, you look at it, Miami's offense could be up there with some of the best. I mean, they got weapons all over. Their running back's really good. You got Malachi Tony out there. I don't know the name of the other receivers, but they're all really good. But it's just what Carson Beck shows up.
Yeah. I think Miami won the game against Texas A&M with the run game. Obviously, it was way too way too windy out there to really make anything happen field goal wise. Passing was hard. But I think that if Mark Fletcher can get going on the ground, and obviously Ohio State's supposed to be this elite defense, and I agree. While I do agree that they are an elite defense, what is Mark Fletcher's game going to look like? Is he going to put up a game like he did against Texas A&M, or is he going to be a little bit muffled, or are we going to have to see a Malachi Tony, or who's going to step up for Miami? I think Ohio State's in a very attackable position, but it's just about who can step up on Miami to make the difference in the long run. Carson Beck has also struggled against top defenses. Yeah, I agree with that. And Alex goes, yeah, he's cheeks, Wilbur. I agree. Carson Beck is very mid, in my opinion. But Georgia would have been 8-4. Agreed with that too. Very winnable game rather for Miami here. I actually kind of like Miami to cover the spread with it being 9.5. That's a little far fetched, but Ohio State to win. Give me Ohio State 24, Miami 17.
I'm going to go more of a defensive game. Ohio State 14, Miami 10.
I could definitely see that happening. And I do think it is going to be a little bit heavy of a defensive game, but I think that you get a Carson Beck pick 6 somewhere in there. And that's the reason for the scores being in the 20s. Moving on from that game. Or what you got?
Can we go back real quick?
Yeah.
I got something. I mean, when you were talking about the Julian Sayin interceptions, he rallied from the pick in the Michigan game to the next drive, scoring a touchdown. He's thrown some questionable balls, but they've all been really early in the game. Now, the one against Indiana didn't help him out because Indiana ended up capitalizing off of that, which hurt. But I think he doesn't let the interceptions get to him like some other quarterbacks could let it get to him in that situation. And I think that's great. That's a great mindset to have. Like, so what, I threw a pick, how they talk next play. Like, that play's in the past, next play.
Yeah.
But I think if you pressure him bad enough, because you honestly haven't seen Julian Sayin pressured that bad until the Indiana game. I feel like if you put a lot of pressure on him, it'll throw his rhythm off. Not terribly bad, but I mean his rhythm won't be the same as it is in other games.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think this Miami defensive line is going to be the X factor in this game. I think they can really turn the game on its head. It's just going to be depending on who shows up for Miami, especially like what's Ruben McVay's game going to look like? How is Ohio State going to game plan for him? Who knows? I think they said Jeremiah Smith legacy game. Yeah, Julian Sayin's going to throw the ball like 800 times in this game just to tell Cam Coleman to come to Ohio State next year. But gonna be an interesting game. Bake will make some mistakes, and Ohio State will capitalize. I agree with that, and that's the reason why I don't have Miami win the game, but I do have them playing a close game nonetheless, taking it down to the wire. Oregon versus Texas Tech at 11 a.m. on New Year's Day. Chin, Dante Moore. I mean,
if you were to look at it, you have a good offense versus a good defense, and then on the others, you swap them. So Texas Tech offense, Oregon defense. They're going to match up a lot better than the offense and defense will. Well, no, they're going to match up evenly both ways. I mean, to put it that way, because you got a very good defense with Texas Tech, and then you got a very good offense with Oregon. Even though Oregon's still missing some key players, but I still think their offense is really explosive.
Yeah.
I think if Texas Tech can get pressure on Dante Moore and not let him sit back there, it'll really cause a lot of problems for him, like it did in the Indiana game. You might see him throw 2-3 picks, maybe. But then you gotta capitalize off of that because I mean, Oregon's defense isn't terrible, but you gotta capitalize when you can and not give their offense the time to get a rhythm going. But I honestly, this is like a very interesting game to watch.
Yeah,
because I haven't really watched either one of them all year, besides the Oregon Indiana game. I mean,
I really like Texas Tech as a football team. I think they have some of the best chemistry. I think they have some of the best play style. I think they have one of the best all-around teams in college football currently. And seeing Oregon open up as a 1.5-point favorite and then being bet up to a 2.5-point favorite is incredible to me. I really like Tech in this matchup. I think Tech's defensive line is going to create a lot of problems for Dante Moore. And the last time we saw Dante Moore really play a good defense was Indiana, and it was a solid game, but you saw that game came out in Eugene. I really like Baron Morton. I really like, everything that they have going on at Texas Tech. Jacob Rodriguez, the linebacking core for Texas Tech is amazing. I think that defensive line, like I said in the Miami Ohio State game, I think they're going to have a big effect on Dante Moore in this game. It's going to cause a lot of issues for Oregon. Dante Moore sitting at 28-8 this year. He will turn the ball over, and why not turn the ball over in one of the biggest stages in college football in Miami, Florida at 11 a.m. on a Thursday morning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Texas Tech, I look for them to be a slow-paced game here between Texas Tech and Oregon. I look for Texas Tech's defense to hold Oregon's high-powered offense down a little bit. How long is that going to last? Who knows? Jim, what do you think of score prediction-wise for this game, man?
Right now, they got the total at 51.5. I don't think it's reaching 51.5. I think you're going to see another defensive game. I think 24-20, which that's over the total. No, that's under.
Yeah.
24-20 is what I would think in favor of Texas Tech.
I like Tech in this game. I'm glad you said that, taking Tech, because I don't want to be the lonely one out there.
No.
I have Tech win this game 27-24, right? And I think it's going to be more so a defensive effort as it is an offensive effort in this game. I'm really high on Texas Tech defense. I'm really high on their linebacking core. I think they're going to create a lot of problems for Dante Moore in this game. And I have him 27-24. That's under the total by half a point. So it's going to be an interesting game nonetheless. I'm really excited to see how Texas Tech plays in this game, because that'll tell me a lot more going forward this year. The game that I'm really excited to talk about, though, Chen, is that Alabama 3:00 kickoff in Pasadena. Going to be a rainy one. Going to be a nasty one. And you hate to hear that for the Rose Bowl, man. You hate to hear that for being out there in such a beautiful place that it's going to be flooding the whole game.
You hate to hear that if you're an Alabama fan.
No doubt.
If you want to be honest with you.
I think Alabama. I was listening to somebody earlier talk on a podcast talking about what could be Alabama's strength going against Indiana. In my personal opinion, I don't think there is something that Alabama does better than Indiana currently. I think the only thing that Alabama has a gateway to is hoping that Indiana is a little too high right now. The win
Yeah.
over Ohio State, the Mendoza Heisman. Like, can you catch them
Number one
slipping at a bad
seed.
spot?
Yeah.
And the
'Cause-
talk's been like, who's the matchup for Alabama in this playoff? Like, who's your favorite matchup? Brother, I don't think there is a favorite matchup in this playoff. Like, there's not a team that I would rather play currently that wouldn't still feel the same way. Like, oh man, if we go and play this team, are they going to be any different? Like, I don't think Alabama has the upper hand over any of these teams in the college football playoff currently. If you actually went and played them somewhere,
Yeah.
Go ahead with what you're going to say, that Jim. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. I lost my train of thought.
Alabama. What do you think about Alabama's offense versus Indiana's defense? What do you think is going to have to be the key to this game, or what do you think the key for Alabama winning this game will be?
The O line, 100%.
Yeah.
Indiana's going to send pressure. I think their defense is just as, if not better, than Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have a really solid defense. Signetti's an amazing coach, and he's been watching film probably the past since that game ended. But I mean, you have to somewhat establish a run game, or at least attempt to. You can't just be like, oh, we're going to throw the ball 40 times this game. That ain't going to happen. Their secondary is just as good as their D line. But you have to look to your playmakers to make plays. You can't drop the ball in scenarios or at any time, honestly, if it hits you in the hands. You have to come down with this ball. This is not a team you can let get away with stuff. Like, you can't have drops on third down or first down. Like, you have to capitalize on everything. And then if you flip the ball over, you got to get to Mendoza. You can't let him sit back there, because if you do, he's just going to pick everybody apart. And he showed that in some games. And then you got to worry about that run game too, which Alabama's defense has been playing a lot better. But we still got to put everything together as one, like we did earlier in the season.
You know, I think in this game, for Alabama to be able to win, Kane Walmont's going to have to earn that paycheck. He's going to have to earn that next level job, and the fact that he's going to have to call one of the best games of his life in this game. And Indiana, Kirk Cinnetti's coaching style is, hey, we're not going to make mistakes. We're not going to beat ourselves, and you're not going to force us to beat ourselves. We're just going to let you just, keep shooting yourself in the foot, because we're not going to do that. We're going to play ball the way we need to play ball, and if it comes up to the end of the day, at least we know we didn't lose the game because we did something wrong. You know what I'm saying? You were just a better team. And how can Kane Womack force Mendoza to turn the ball over? And can Ty Simpson and this Alabama offense be able to take advantage of good field position in this game? I think our defense is going to get stops. Like, let me go ahead and start off by saying that. I think we're going to get stops. I don't have the confidence in Alabama's offense to go 3 and out, 3 possessions in a row, and still pray that our defense somehow continues to hold Indiana. Like, our offense is going to have to be clicking on all cylinders in this game to be able to win.
I agree with Pork right here. I wouldn't even say we need Ty Simpson from the first Georgia game. Like, he played good last week whenever we played Oklahoma. You need the Alabama team that showed up the Georgia game to come out there and play 2 times better than what they played. Because there is a lot on the line. This is a very good and talented team. Very well coached too, like you were saying. We're going to make you shoot yourself in the foot. You ain't going to beat us off of our mistakes.
Yeah.
But you have to get to Mendoza, force him into some throws you've not really seen him make a lot this year. I forgot what games it was. it was like a couple top games. I think it was Penn State, Iowa, Ohio State, Oregon. I think there was another team on there. He has 6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
Yeah.
You have to, if that ball is in your hands, you got to catch it. You cannot give Indiana a second chance
Yeah.
at anything defense wise.
And you see people talking about how do you beat. Not letting me in on this episode after I have 3 pages of notes is diabolical. Yeah, you see people talk about Indiana and how they can like how can you beat Indiana? Well, nobody knows because nobody's beat Indiana. And you could say, like, how do you control a game against Indiana? Well, you control it all the way down to the end, but nobody's been able to go the extra mile with Indiana. So what is it going to take and how is Alabama going to figure that out? I think Todd Simpson, like you were saying, Todd Simpson needs to continue to perform at the level he's performing at or at one time was performing at. But this offensive line play is going to have to be clean throughout the whole game. And you can't turn the ball over in this game. You're going to have to play clean football because as soon as you give Indiana lead way, you're going to lose the game. Indiana is a 7-point favorite right now. And I would say with the rain that is going to be in Pasadena, it does not favor Alabama at all. So how can you overcome that? A lot of things in this game for Alabama that, are against them. But at the same time, can you use that to your advantage and maybe hope that Indiana is sitting in Bloomington Bloomington right now, or I guess they'd be in Pasadena by now, saying, "Oh man, we got the Heisman winner, we got the blah 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 blah." What? Can you catch them slipping? Can you catch them off guard? Is kind of what I'm getting at. Exactly what I've said. If our Alabama SEC defense shows up, we win by 30. I don't think 200 plus rushing yards is a crazy take. Is he talking about Alabama 200 plus rushing yards?
I don't know. If we rush for 200 yards,
To see either team in this game win by more than 2 scores, I'd be surprised.
yeah, I think it'll be 1 or yeah.
It's
I
nonetheless.
don't even know if you could say it'll be a touchdown game. I think it'll be a lot closer than a touchdown game.
We'll go ahead and let's give our score predictions, Chin. What you got? Have Chin join us back. Oh, never mind. There goes Sport. Chin, what you got for a score prediction?
Let's see. (21-17) Bama.
21-17 Bama. What do you think happens in the game that flips the game towards Bama?
Mendoza pick 6. Domani Jackson.
Domani Jackson. Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
Holy. I don't know how much the rain is really messing with me. The trenches on both sides of the ball for Indiana is really messing with me. I think I almost like I like Indiana in this game, right?
Yeah.
I am back, boys.
Welcome back, Court. I think I like Indiana in this game. The reason I say that is I think
go ahead.
I think I like Indiana in this game 31-24. And the main reason, actually, let me take that back. 28-24. And the reason is because the rain mostly. I think the Alabama pass game is going to be really affected by that. I think that Indiana's run game is going to put them above Alabama in this game. I think the trenches for Indiana is going to, obviously they're missing what's his name, number 8, got hurt in the celebration last game they had in the Big Ten championship. So I think the trenches for Indiana is going to stand out in this game. And the problem for Alabama that people have been talking about consistently for the most of the year is D-line, O-line, not getting enough pressure on D-line, O-line not being able to pick up stunts, and Tyler Simpson not having enough time. I think it's going to continue in this game, and it's going to put Indiana over Alabama, as much as that hurts me to say that.
I think if Bama wins, Xavier Brown had another pick 6 before half.
You missed my prediction on that pick 6.
you serious?
Whoever's phone is buzzing, put it on.
Yeah,
Do
that's
not
my
disturb.
fault.
Come on, Chan.
They ain't
No,
loud.
Pork. I said Damani
Don't say you
Jackson
did
pick
Demont.
6.
Oh my God. Here we go.
Ole Miss, Georgia.
Georgia.
Okay, 6 p.m.
Oops.
New Orleans, Louisiana, 6.5 point favorite for Georgia. Trinidad Chambliss, Kwan Lacey, Pete Golding going up against Kirby Smart, Zachariah Branch, and Gunnar Stockton. You know, this game is interesting to me in the facts of Lane Kiffin. How big of a miss is he going up against Kirby? And you saw Ole Miss play Georgia so tight in the first matchup. Is that going to be the same in this one? And I mean, Ole Miss is right around the corner from New Orleans. Right around the corner, you know. So, how well is the fans going to affect this game? Because I think they're going to need it. I think Kirby's going to put on a pretty nice little show in this game. I got Georgia winning this game, 31-17.
Why you do my look? I've got a special
Hey,
friend
I like
of
the
mine.
fans though.
Appreciate that.
I have a pretty good friend of mine. He goes by the name of Bob. And I've kind of got to side with Bob. I think Ole Miss travels pretty well, and they're traveling to a place that is closer to them than it would be to Georgia. So I think the crowd noise could be an issue here. And I mean, Ole Miss has played very dangerous at times. Like they've been a dangerous team to play against at times. And with Kawan Lacey being back and being healthy or being probable, I mean,
He said he's
him being
gonna
able to
play.
be well, even better. Now that he is officially back, it's going to be hard for Georgia to stop him and Trinidad Chambliss consecutively. I think it's just going to be hard for them to string together good sequences on defense to keep Ole Miss off the field.
I mean,
Yeah.
I agree with you. If you were to go back and watch the first time they played, Ole Miss has this game won until the fourth quarter. You go into the fourth quarter and you have 1 yard of total offense in the fourth quarter. You have Chambliss, who honestly looked like he was playing from high school in the fourth quarter. Couldn't hit a pass, receivers couldn't catch, line couldn't block, and then you couldn't stop them on the other end. I think you see a more locked in Ole Miss team this time around because they know, and I think they're honestly still pissed off.
Interim
Honestly.
boost.
Interim boost. They're pissed off that Lane left them like he did. I think they want to show people it is not the coach that got us this far, or the head coach per se that got us this far. I think Kewan Lacey will have a decent game. I don't think it'll be amazing because of Georgia's D-line and linebackers being as good as they are. But then again, I'm looking at Georgia practice videos on Twitter, and I'm like, oh, God. These guys are trying to kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
And like Kirby says, we're going out physical. You know what?
I wonder how many Ole Miss players are getting tampered with right now too.
Yeah,
And
you got to think about that too, because Lane, he don't care.
No.
He gonna come after you.
And that's the thing, right? Is how is this Ole Miss mindset going in this? Pete Golding's first real head coaching matchup is going to be against Kirby Smart, against an extremely physical Georgia team that's improved all year long, and which is not even the same team that played Ole Miss the first time. Like they are a better version of that team. And I don't know if you could say that Ole Miss has gotten better. Like I think they've stayed the same. I think they're a really good team, but I don't think they've improved. And I think Georgia has improved.
Which is crazy to say when Georgia has lost the people that they have to injuries. That wide receiver, I think I saw today.
They got him back.
Oh, they got him back.
Yeah,
I think I saw today where they had a corner, I think in a brace, like a heavy brace on his right wrist or something. But it's just crazy to say that this Georgia team has gotten better since the first time that they've played. Like, granted, you're supposed to improve as the season goes, but you're the healthiest you've been at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I do. This Georgia team is very scary.
Drew Bobo is still going to be out in this game for Georgia sets, but honestly, you haven't seen a whole lot of drop off at the center position, so I don't know if that really matters as much as we thought it would. Colby Young, he's probable for the game. I think he'll actually probably be back, which is a huge gain for Georgia. Really good player there at receiver. So, all in all, man, I think it's a hard game for Ole Miss. Jim, what's your score prediction for this game?
I think it's a hard game for both teams. This is going to be a higher scoring game than the first three. 38 to 32. Georgia.
Georgia. Ooh. Port. What do you
All
think?
right. I got a scenario that's going to play out here, okay?
Oh, no.
Gunner
Y'all
Stockton
just
gets
sit
hurt
with
Tulane's
first
beating
half.
Ole Miss.
Tulane's beating Ole Miss.
All right. So, look, I think it's going to be a closer game, and it's not going to be as high scoring as what Chin says. I like 21-20 Georgia, and I think Ole Miss loses it on a 2-point conversion late in the game.
Okay. You know,
Hey, this is the only time that you really, if you're an interim, you kind of have to go for it. Just like cement your legacy. You get the 2-point, you get the contract for the forever, basically.
for forever. Yeah.
That
Well,
forever
we'll see.
contract.
What team would you rather not see in this playoff? Like in
Georgia.
the second round, who would you not want to see?
Georgia.
Port?
For who exactly? Like what team are we saying? Like, are we using
Anybody.
for this?
Just-
like, let's say
just
Bama,
overall.
I guess.
Just overall.
Like the team you would least want to play in round two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ohio State. Ohio State.
We're
I
talking
think
about the
it's
two. we're talking-
Georgia.
Yeah, dude. Georgia.
I think it's Georgia or Tech. Because I've seen that you could beat Ohio State.
But the thing with Ohio State is now you have a team who has a few weeks of rest, and they're still irritated that they lost to Indiana how they did.
Yeah.
You're about to have a team that's going to come out and prove everybody else wrong, saying that they're not just overrated. They're going to come out and actually trying to put, like I said, belt, B-E-L-T. Remember it.
We didn't get the score prediction for the Alabama-Indiana game from you. What you got for us in that game?
I was going to say 31-24 Indiana.
So we didn't have the same because I changed to 27-24 Indiana. Or no, 27-21 Indiana, I think. is what it
Wow.
was.
The only one rocking Bama
Oh,
here.
okay.
Yeah. Josh Pate
Sorry,
actually
Shannon.
picked
I'm just a
Bama.
realist, buddy.
I saw that.
Yeah, Josh
They-
Pate picked
they
Bama.
lost,
He said
apparently, yeah.
if
Port-
everybody's
Port-
going for Indiana, then I'm gonna go for Bama.
If you talk about being a realist, the only real one in here is me. Because in our brackets, I'm the only undefeated one.
Huh?
Mr. Tulane
Well-
over Ole Miss.
I'm undefeated.
Look,
Nah, you didn't pick it Miami, did you?
Nah, I don't think so, actually.
Yeah.
which of my brackets are you talking about? Because I made like 100 of them.
100 of them. The
But
one we did
Dalton just
on
used my worst
live.
bracket.
The
Turtle
one
just
we
used my
did
worst
on
bracket.
live.
No, that's
we
AI.
did have to. I respect that. Well, or when are we gonna get the announcement on your commitment?
I think you might get top 3 Sunday.
Sunday.
Might.
And then
Sunday,
it may
Sunday night
be
pod.
Sunday night pod. You're probably gonna end up getting the top 3, final 3 schools.
What about decision?
I'm not sure. I might have a little signing day like a week or so afterwards. It just depends.
During the Natty. Halftime of the Natty. Porter's going to commit.
Oh my. We're gonna have to
That'd
get
be
graphics made for this kid.
I can get some made.
Graphics made. I'm gonna have to get my hats.
I got you a Bama hat already. You ain't got to worry about any others.
What makes you think Bama's gonna be in the top 3?
Well, that's been the R&D podcast. Appreciate you stopping by. Pork,